Have you ever been watching a game of whatever your preferred sport is, and your team just loses in a way that there's really nothing else you can do but just laugh? Like, whatever happened is just so ridiculous you can't even be mad? Well, we decided why not go over a few of those, because a lot of them are pretty dang interesting. So without further ado, how about we start with the good old Mets? On August 3rd of 2009...
It was August 23rd, you stupid idiot.
The Mets played a game against the Phillies, and by the 9th inning, the Phillies had taken the lead 9 to the Mets 7. And then, with 0 outs on the board for the Mets and runners on first and second, Jeff Francoeur hits a line drive to second base. Now, normally this wouldn't be a huge issue. It would suck, but it wouldn't be a huge problem. But let's just say, hypothetically, for the sake of argument, the runners from first and second had already taken off, and the second baseman Eric Bruntlett caught it. Well, if that somehow happens, then that would mean all he has to do to end this game with an unassisted triple play is to tag the bag and then tag the runner right next to him. One of only 15 unassisted triple plays to ever happen in the entire history of the MLB. It would also be the first time a game has ever ended with an unassisted triple play. Man, that would be crazy if that actually happened, huh?
Line drive caught by Bruntlett. He makes the tag. It's a triple play, and the ball game is over.
This also happened like 2.5 months after the Mets had just lost a game to a dropped pop-up, but thankfully that's not the only time in history that's ever happened to a team, so at least the Mets have some company for that one. Also, if you're a certified Mets hater, stick around, because they'll be showing up again later. And sticking to the topic of baseball, in a game on August 11th, 2005 between the Angels and the A's, something happened. This one's brutal. With the score tied up in the 9th inning, the A's are trying to make something happen to take this win home. And with this pitch right here, the player on first steals second, and he makes it there clean. There's no footage of this happening, but I pinky promise I'm not just lying for fun. The Angels look like they're not too happy about that pitch being called a ball, but it's fine, just get the ball back to him and we'll get him on the next one. But on the most routine toss back to the pitcher, he misses the catch. The runner on third sees this and guns it home. I'll let you try to guess if he was safe or not, judging by the pitcher's reaction. That's right, the Angels lost this game because of a missed throwback from the catcher. I can't even imagine what was going through the pitcher's head after this. I feel bad for the guy, but at the same time, what's that military saying? Complacency kills? There you go. Now how about we take a little break from baseball and talk about some football ones. In a game on September 24th, 2017, the Lions... Hold on, I've been getting spammed like crazy lately. Oh, this one isn't spam actually, it's from Mike. It says open or you're fired. Alright, well, gotta do what the boss man says. Wait, what's happening? My computer's frozen. Did someone hack me? Wait, it's opening a file on its own. Oh no.
Don't you just hate spam? Just getting absolutely bombarded by unsolicited messages from people you don't know. That's where the sponsor of this video, Aura, comes in. Data brokers constantly store, share, and sell your personal information, even though they're legally required to remove your information if you want it removed. That's not the only way Aura gives you online security and peace of mind. Aura continuously monitors your personal data across billions of data points like public records in the dark web to alert you of any potential data breaches or identity theft. Same goes for financial fraud protection too. And hey, think about it like this. You're less likely to get spammed and worry if a phone call from a number you've never seen before is shady. I know I can speak from personal experience that when you're waiting from a phone call from a number you don't know and you get something, and you're not 100% sure if you should take it or not because you're mindful of scams. We do live in a world where people are out to get you, and that makes answering your own phone more difficult. Aura also offers a VPN for an encrypted online connection, antivirus, a password manager, certified data security using the same security standards as banks and the military, 24/7 US-based support, and more. I get all this in one app at an affordable price. I'm not leaving myself and my family vulnerable to data breaches and brokers. And if you don't want to either, you can click the link in the description or go to aura.com/starkravingsports to try 2 weeks for free. That'll be enough time for Aura to find out if any of your personal data is exposed. So, thanks, Aura.
Alright, we're back, I guess. That was weird. Anyways, like I was saying, on September 24th, 2017, in a game between the Lions and the Falcons, the Lions make one final push with 12 seconds on the clock in the fourth quarter. If they get this buzzer beater touchdown, they win. And by golly, they get it done. Or do they? See, the refs went back to actually review this play, and they determined that the ball was actually down at the half-yard line. And because this review that overturned the touchdown happened at a time where the clock would have still been running, this triggered what's called a 10-second clock runoff. Basically what that is, as SB Nation explains it, the 10-second runoff option exists to prevent one team from taking advantage of its own penalty or injury by stopping the clock without using a timeout. And because there was less than 10 seconds left in the game, that means that this 10-second runoff ended the game. Imagine being right there and thinking, yes, I just got the game-winning touchdown, only to be told, nah, we're just going to run the clock down because we had to review it and you lost. This isn't the first time a game has ended because of 10-second runoff, but again, just imagine thinking you won and then you're told, Nah, you didn't. But since we're already talking about the Lions, why don't we talk about a different game where they were on the other end of something weird like this happening. On November 28th, 2024, the Lions are playing against the Bears, and there's a few key points we're going to go over here for context. The game is very close, and the Bears currently have the ball. There's about 30 seconds left in the game, and they still have a timeout they could use. When games are in positions like this, you either need to call a timeout to get reset, or you just have to keep running plays quickly back to back to back to get it done. So then why are they just farting around for like 25 seconds without calling a timeout before they finally snap the ball just to throw it for an incomplete pass and lose the game? At first, it looks like the Bears quarterback is really trying to get his guys to set up so they can get this play going, but then once they're all set, he still takes forever to get him to snap the ball. Like, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know if they're going for like a real buzzer beater, like last second touchdown, or they just gave up. I have no idea. But either way, like I said, he throws an incomplete pass and boom, Lions win. Not much else to say about this one. And actually, a similar thing happened in the NBA too, in Game 1 of the 2018 NBA Finals. After the second free throw was missed in this game between the Cavs and the Warriors, J.R. Smith must have lost track of the score because he rebounds it and just starts taking it away from the hoop. And by the time he realizes LeBron is trying to tell him, dude, what are you doing? We are tied right now. Shoot the ball or pass it to someone. Something. It's already far too late, so he just passes it to another player. That guy tries to shoot it, misses. This whole thing was just like, what? They end up having to go into overtime, and the Cavs eventually lose this game. To be fair, I guess they could have just beat him in overtime, but also like they wouldn't have had to go to overtime in the first place if he had just taken the shot and made it, which he might have if he had even tried to take the shot. Like this whole situation was just a mess, stemming from forgetting what the score was at. Now, this next one, I don't even know how to intro it. I'll just say that the game's tied with 0 seconds left on the clock, so this is the last play of the game. December 18th, Patriots versus Raiders. At first, this play is looking pretty good for the Patriots. They're running the ball up the field, making good yardage, and then he tosses it back to another player. Fair enough, yeah, I mean, it's the last play. You gotta do something, try to get some going. The issue arises when the guy who just got the ball realizes, I'm not very open. Let me toss it back to someone else who's more open than I am. He makes a pretty dang bad read on this one and throws it directly to one of the Raiders players. He turns around to the Patriots player covering him, straight arms him like he's his little brother throwing wild punches, and just runs it in. Honestly, this sound clip of the commentators reacting to what just happened, it sums up this whole play perfectly.
Oh no! Unbelievable! Oh wow!
Moseying our way down back to baseball lane, did you know there's only been 5 forfeits in Major League Baseball since 1954? This is important because we're about to talk about the most recent one that happened, which was in 1995. In a game between the Dodgers and the Cardinals, the Dodgers are currently losing in the bottom of the ninth 2-1. Raul Mondesi and Tommy Lasorda were just ejected, and the Dodgers fans are pretty heated about this. And it just so happened that the Dodgers were having a promotion that night where all the fans that entered the stadium were given a free baseball. And what happened next, no one could have seen coming. They started throwing their balls on the field. To be clear, baseballs. They started throwing their baseballs on the field. It started getting so hectic that the Dodgers were forced to forfeit before they got a chance to try to come back. Here's a quick little lightning round one for you. Mike Tyson's ear bite technically ended the fight. So yeah, I'd consider biting part of someone's ear off a weird way to lose a match. Now, of course, this wouldn't be a real multi-sport list type video if I didn't mention hockey in there somewhere. And probably mess up the hockey one I talk about too. So hey, let me know down in the comments if I get this one right. I'm definitely not just asking you to do that because comments help with the algorithm. Surely not. In a game on April 30th, 1986 between the Oilers and the Flames, the Oilers lost this game and got knocked out of the playoffs by their own hand. After the Oilers goalie stops this puck for Steven Smith to come by and pick it up, he does, and then he goes to pass it. But instead of it going to the player he was aiming for, he shoots it directly into the goalie's leg, which in turn bounces it straight into the net, winning the game for the Flames. Like seriously, how unlucky do you have to be for this to happen? Probably about as unlucky as me when I open cases in CS. I am down multiple thousands of dollars. If he had just snuck the pass between his legs, it probably would have been a different story, unlike the next one we're about to talk about. In a game between the Yankees and the Marlins on June 15th, 1997, the Yankees head into the bottom of the 9th inning up by 1 run. The Marlins currently have 2 runners on base, and their batter smacks one directly to the second baseman. This second baseman, Pat Kelly, who had just hit a triple at the top of the inning to put the Yankees in the lead, stances up to field this ball, and it goes straight between his legs. Both of the Marlin players that are currently on base make it home, and that's it. Marlins win. I can for sure relate to Kelly here because this definitely happened to me probably a good few times when I played baseball in high school. I wasn't the best. I probably had this exact same reaction too. On July 16th, 2016, the Giants lost a game to the Padres. Bottom of the 10th inning, tie game with a runner on third. Pitcher Santiago Casilla is currently on the bump for the Giants, but when he goes to deliver this pitch, he stumbles. And you know what that means. It's a balk. So the runner on third just gets to walk his way home, and that ends the game 7-6. Now don't get me wrong, this isn't the first time a balk has ended a game. This has happened multiple times, but this one's just so goofy. Just a little trip with the stumble followed up by an absolutely horrendous pitch attempt. It's just, chef's kiss. This one's good. And since we're already on the very specific topic of pitchers falling down to help the mid-2010 Padres win games, the Mets actually lost a game to the Padres on July 20th, 2014, where the pitcher stumbled as well. With a runner on third and 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning, Mets pitcher Josh Edgen actually does deliver the pitch, and when it's hit back to him a little to his left, he goes for it, but he trips on his way to field it. So by the time he comes back up with it, the guy on third has already made it home, and the guy on first is safe, which doesn't really matter because the game's over at this point. I don't know what happened, maybe he got thrown off balance when he turned around or something, but he's out there looking like a GTA 5 ragdoll. Absolutely just unfortunate. But, it happens. And since we're already here talking about pitchers, let's talk about one more pitching related one. In this game on April 8th, 2013, the Rangers are up 1 run on the Rays at the top of the 9th inning. And with a full count on the board, pitcher Joe Nathan delivers ball 4 and walks Ben Zobrist. Wait. They called that a strike? Yeah, that's correct. In the most pivotal moment of the entire game, the umpire calls this ball a strike. You can tell this is a weird one too, because not only are the batter and manager mad about this one, but you don't even need Jamba to tell you that the pitcher's reaction to this was him just saying, wow. Now granted, of course, curveballs are supposed to move, but that pitch? That wasn't in the zone there, buddy. I don't even know if Slender Man would be able to reach his arms out far enough to swing at that thing. Like, that was crazy. Hey, do you remember that one time the Jets lost to the Raiders because their own tight end blocked the ball from the receiver's hands on a game-winning Hail Mary attempt? Yeah, I remember that one too. That was pretty crazy. Garrett Wilson just came across like the spy from TF2, like he was an undercover defender or something, and just blocked that shit. And now, finally, ladies and gentlemen, this is the last ridiculous loss I will leave you with today. I'm sure you've seen the Randy Johnson hitting a bird with a pitch clip like a million times, but I guess in case you haven't, here it is, sure. But believe it or not, this isn't the first time a bird being hit by a ball has had an impact on a game before. Back on June 11th, 2009, in a game between the Kansas City Royals and the Cleveland, as they were known at the time, Indians, this game is tied up 3-3 at the bottom of the 10th inning. With a runner on second, Shin-Soo Choo smacks one right up the middle to Coco Crisp. Now normally this would be a pretty simple ball to field and hold the runner on third at least, or if he tries to run home, just gun him down. But unfortunately for him, there was a flock of seagulls just parked right where the ball was going towards. They didn't manage to get away in time, so the ball actually hit one of the seagulls, changing its trajectory and also throwing up a bunch of different white stuff while he's trying to focus on this white ball coming towards him. All this together made him miss it, and the runner on second went all the way home. Thankfully, no birds were actually killed from this one, but it did lose him the game. Stupid bird. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this video. As always, if you liked it, drop a like and maybe subscribe to our channel. And if there's any crazy losses I missed, drop it down in the comments. I read every single one of them. It also just really helps with the algorithm, so honestly, you could just type anything if you want. Thank you. Anyways, have a lovely day, gamers. Peace.